Me all the time, right? Yep.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You gotta.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
Put it down. It ain't good for you.
I'ma make them suffer. They some palms. All of my
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
I'ma make them suffer. They some palms.
All of my haters are sipping fake tea.
It's getting real dangerous like Drake's Passage. All of my haters going to
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
I got them running from me like a tidal wave. All the Zeus hate came out of nowhere.
Right?
Fucking next level, take another stare. Talking about me like I really care. I hear you haters out.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
What you say is make believe, sipping on that fake tea. Talking kinda crazy when you on that fake tea. Now it's time to take it
Go,
back.
ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
All you haters hating.
All you haters is hating. Because y'all on that fake tea.
Because y'all are on that fake tea. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
It ain't good for you. You know it. We know it.
I'ma make them suffer, they some palms. All of my haters is sipping fake tea. I'ma make them suffer, they some palms. All of my haters is sipping fake tea. Somebody needs to tell them that it's stepped on. They thinking they're the Jetsons, but they Flintstones. Overdosing on these lies like it's nothing wrong. About to make them hang it up like it was a phone. No dial tone, send them straight to voicemail. I don't recognize this number, send them straight to hell.
Good morning,
All my
ladies and
haters
gentlemen.
gossip cause they losing sales. Now you're trapped, don't make me in that cell. Now you trying to
Good morning, cold as the day.
Sounding real shady. When you on that fake tea, I heard it through the grapevine. And you know they drop it dimes.
All right, let's get this show started, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly what we came to do, all right? No games to be played. Let's get started, all right? Hey,
Feel like I'm stuck in a cycle.
that is correct. You know exactly why we are here, the fly cleaners. Good morning. Let's go. Oh, yes. Thank you for the roses. Shanti now. You are doing the God's work. Let's go.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks.
I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas.
I play the game so raw.
I won't finish last.
Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it.
This is how it's supposed to happen when you're rich and famous. The algorithm turned me to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my zodiac.
Got all these women on my spreadsheet.
Benjamin Franklin is my bestie.
Man, if they is my ex, that mean they left me.
They don't get replies if they text me.
I say it with my chest cause I mean it.
Let's
Got a
go.
lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Right.
Call me the master with a new whip. I'ma take off for this
There you go.
spaceship.
I'll tell you what, I've gone into Zeus's live in a couple of days. That shit was radical.
It was.
It was horrible. I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
It's like deja vu.
Right, I've gone way off the rails.
It's like deja vu.
Fair enough, I can live with that.
It's like deja vu.
All right.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks.
All right, DJ, go ahead and kill the music. All right, let's kill the music. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. Welcome to the show. Zena Smith, thank you as always. You know, I always appreciate that, all right? Let's get started today, ladies and gentlemen. Today is quite the epic day. All right, we know what's going on in terms of politics, but before we get into that, let's start with some housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, good morning, Jess. I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? You all know exactly why, right? The first H is because I'm honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. There's nobody more honest than me, all right? You might as well pretend like my hand is resting on a stack of Bibles. The second H is because I'm humble. Yeah, there's nobody more humble than me. If I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize. But here's the thing. Just because your feelings are hurt, it doesn't mean that I owe you an apology, all right? And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because you've guessed it. I am and will always remain the most handsome. Yeah. You think Trump will be a no-show tonight? Interesting. All right, now many of you are familiar with what we do over here on this side of TikTok. I like to say we hold our friends on the right, especially their cult leader, accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds. Excuse me. Hold on, little technical difficulties. I like to say it was just we accountable for disgusting, filthy deeds. But I'm convinced after yesterday, now that these Trump supporters, they're afraid to come in the box, they're afraid to come in the light and reveal the MAGA demon to me. What we do is a bit different, all right? What we do is we put the fear in Trump supporters. We do it, right? And the reason and the way that we do it is it's an overwhelming, and I promise you, it's an overwhelming amount of fear that we put into them because we bring nothing but truth out here on the internet to combat the lies, the misinformation, and the narratives that Donald Trump continues to push out on his third-rate social media platform. You know what it's called, right? Lie Central. And so to the Trump supporters out here, you know what they do, right? They're sitting back and they're trying to come up with a way to get a win, right, Lindsay? They're trying to come up with a way to get a win, right? Just because you say you won, it doesn't actually mean that you won. And I want you Trump supporters to really think about this. Just because you say that you won does not mean that you won. I get it. Donald Trump, to this day, is still saying he won the 2020 election. And so they think they have the same magical powers that Donald J. Trump has. And it's quite fascinating, but I'm definitely laser focused in on it, right? Going forward. But before I get started, I'll say this to the Trump supporters that fear Zeus. I got a bit of a heads up for you. If you don't want me to ruin your breakfast, all right? If you don't want me to, you're happy now, but then when I get started and when I start getting hot and I start rolling and steamrolling, you go from being happy to sad. You were hungry, but then you're not going to be so hungry. Do me a huge favor. Leave this live and go on about your miserable mornings, because I promise you it's going to get worse, all right? You go hang out with those fake TikTok hosts. You go hang out with those so-called legal gurus, all right? Because they'll make you feel better, but I promise you I won't make you feel better, all right? So you better leave right now before I turn the temperature up. But get this. I know you don't believe me, and you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Right? All right. So with that being said, I just want to make sure to all the Trump supporters that continue to spread misinformation and disinformation in my chat, I want you to know that there's a chance I just might bring you up and send you an invite to explain your position behind repeating those right-wing talking lines, all right? And if I send you a guest request and then you don't accept my guest request, that means you're taking an L. And I got this little thing that I do every time I get one of you to take an L, right? We send them straight to the pits of hell, right, ladies and gentlemen? We send them straight to the pits of hell. Yeah, I personally do not mind sending Trump supporters straight to hell where they belong, because you know what? They wake up every single day and they practically beg me to do it, right? Isn't that safe to say, Zena? They practically are begging us to send them straight to the pits of hell. All right. And they're going to go there and be with their cult leader, and even when they're in there and they're burning hot, they're still going to say they are winning. It's the most bizarre thing. I promise you it is. What I want to do is start out with talking about my good friend Morning Joe, all right? And what he's done is he's calling out these stubborn falsehoods that cling to Donald Trump's presidency, all right? The former president persistently claims that the U.S. economy reached historic heights during his tenure in the White House, and many Americans tell pollsters that they agree. You ever hear these Trump supporters, ladies and gentlemen, talking about 4 years ago, life was better under Donald Trump? You ever heard one of them? Let me ask you the next question. Have any of you ever got a Trump supporter to bring proof that life was better 4 years ago? Have any of you ever seen them do it, like a bank statement, perhaps? Maybe a receipt from back when they filled up their cars with gas? Have any of you seen a Trump supporter bring real evidence that life was better under Donald Trump? Oh, you can. Oh, wait a second. Snap Mark. Come on up. All right. Hey, buddy. Hey, pal. How are
Hey,
you?
what's going on?
Yeah, you got that evidence that I was looking for?
Are you talking about
Anything. I'm
okay.
just curious. Because you're a Trump supporter, correct?
Honestly, I can't really stand him, but I really can't stand Biden.
Okay. So that, for the sake of this conversation, you're MAGA, all right?
I'm what?
You're MAGA. All right? You got the MAGA demon on you. You know, there's this new thing. I don't know if you're aware of it. There's a lot of Trump supporters on this app coming up in the boxes in disguise, you know. And,
Well, I
and
mean,
so what I
I'm
do,
voting for Joe Stein, so I'm not MAGA.
okay. So do you
I
got
mean,
the
if you wanna,
evidence?
if
Do
you
you
wanna bring,
have the evidence, Snap Mark? Because the only reason I brought you up because you said you have the evidence to prove that the economy and life was better 4 years ago. What is it? Do you got it?
no. The
Oh,
question you asked, because you probably forgot,
no, 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 no,
was
no,
life
no, no. See,
better? Hold on. Don't
that's
change up. Calm
that's
down.
where you went wrong, Mark.
No, calm down, calm down.
No, no, no,
Let me
no,
be
no, no.
clear.
Okay,
You
what was the
said
question I asked?
life was better, right? And this is all you said because I just got on. You said
Oh,
life was better with Biden than Trump, right?
I never said that in those words.
Yeah, that's what you
Okay,
said.
maybe you just got on. That's probably the most honest thing you said, and I'll take your word for it. The request,
That was the most
Mark, was
honest thing.
this, and the request was very simple.
Uh-huh.
Show me proof show me proof that life was better for you 4 years ago. So really, what you should have done is came up
Oh,
here
for me.
and
I mean,
brought a screenshot of maybe your 401k, 4 years ago,
I'm
and
not
then
bringing my 401k,
oh, okay, Mark. Well,
dude.
then maybe I need to let you get down in the box.
Okay,
All
hold
right,
on, hold on.
all
Let
right,
me.
ladies and gentlemen. Join me in giving Mark what he deserves. A round of booze and shame, Mark. I'm thinking now, Mark. I'll open up the boxes later, Mark. But for the sake of the show, I gotta move on. All right.
Silence.
Yeah.
You MAGA
You know,
demon.
I'm gonna call you MAGA simply because you said something that rubbed me the wrong way. You said you can't stand Joe Biden. Yeah, okay, whatever. All right, whatever. That had nothing to do with what I was asking people to come up and talk about. All right, so let's listen to what Morning Joe has to say about these people who continue to spread misinformation and disinformation about life under Donald Trump 4 years
Attacking our
ago.
institutions at home. Yeah, I think that's a good run of issues for Biden. He's got to be careful on foreign policy because the other side of that coin is Trump is going to say the world's on fire, everything's crazy, everything was calm when I was here, and I think that one of the challenges President Biden is going to have is not being too defensive on those questions, staying on the attack, having crisp answers about what he's been doing, but also attacking Donald Trump, on the ways that he's going to alienate us in the world.
Claire McCaskill, I want to go to you here because it's galling, and it has been galling to me for some time, that Donald Trump repeats something enough that everybody believes it's true, even people in the media that talk about how great the economy was under Donald Trump.
They do.
You go back before the pandemic, if you don't count, the economy was the best ever. No, it wasn't. It wasn't even close. I know that a lot of people hate numbers and they hate facts. And I understand a lot of people in Trump land.
They definitely
they're snowflakes.
They are.
And like it's their feelings that matter. They lead with their feelings.
Correct.
But here are the facts. Before the pandemic, America's GDP under Donald Trump was 2.5%. All right? Post World War II, that's not the greatest performance ever. That ranks Donald Trump eighth, behind LBJ, behind Jimmy Carter, behind Reagan, behind Ike, behind Nixon. I could go on and on. Find 8 presidents post World War II, and Donald Trump did worse than most of them on GDP growth. And yet Donald Trump is going to keep lying. I had the greatest economy ever before the pandemic. No, he didn't. Wasn't anywhere close to the greatest economy ever. And I just wonder how much longer moderators and others are going to allow this lie to continue to fester, because it's a lie that is having an impact on this race.
Bingo, bingo, bingo. So it's a lie that Donald Trump had the greatest economy ever before the pandemic. And why are we all not surprised that it's a lie? Because pretty much we all know all Donald Trump and his supporters do is lie. And they spread this lie around like wildfire, all right? But once again, it's been debunked, and you know exactly what we must do. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in kicking this show off the way we normally do by giving these Trump supporters that continue to spread this lie. It's a nasty lie, right? On top of all the other lies, right? That somehow Donald Trump was really great at running this country. Just look at the economy. No, he wasn't. He's only saying it to get you to believe him and send him your money. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him another round of boos and shame. Bye. Bye.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, and so what I want to make sure is this. Anybody that is listening to me, I'm speaking perfect English. If I bring you up in the box, have the evidence and information ready. Don't get in here and start trying to turn this into Pee-wee's Playhouse, right? This is what they try to do. They want to turn my live into Pee-wee's Playhouse and send me on that little merry-go-round and the little wild rides that they can engineer in their MAGA minds. MAGA, I got some bad news for you. I'm on to all of your shenanigans. Some days, you know, I sit back and I go, really, you're going to embarrass yourself? And then there's other days I say, absolutely not. But every Trump supporter that I've ever spoken with, something is wrong with them. You know, this thing right now, Biden needs to have a test. I went to a MAGA Demons live last night. This MAGA Demon, how many of you know him? Know him? Tiny Tank Top Tom. He's up. Tiny Tank Top Tom. Oh my God, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Do I have the screenshot? All right, now keep in mind, this MAGA Demon is up late at night doing the devil's work. This is a Trump supporter up late at night doing the devil's work, all right? This MAGA Demon right here, is it showing? Is it showing? Oh my God, hold on. Why is my... Ah, there he is. There he is. There's that MAGA Demon. Hosting a live with his friends on TikTok. Probably about good 10 people in there. Background reads, why are Biden supporters against D test? You know, I don't want to say it on TikTok because I don't want to get in trouble like I did yesterday. Because TikTok says, Zeus, you're being too harsh to MAGA. And they put a little flag on my live. So I'm trying to keep it clear. But this knucklehead, this MAGA demon thinks people, Democrats, are against President Biden being tested. No, I'm not against any of that. If you want to test them, go for it. To me, it doesn't even matter because I know it's going to come back clean, if you know what I mean. But for the sake of it, it just showed me the ignorance that this MAGA demon is filled with. Tiny Tank Top Tom. Let me tell you something. If you are hosting a live about a lie that Donald J. Trump is saying, and you haven't figured out it was a lie, I'm done. I am done. That's next level. That's next level wild. All right? Because if anything, Donald Trump may be the one that's really on that stuff. And if anything, Tom, from the way it looks to me, you just might be on that stuff, right? Maybe it's the Trump supporters that need to be tested for those substances. Maybe it's the Trump supporters that need to be tested for their cognitive abilities, right? And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's join me in giving Tiny Tank Top Tom what he deserves. He comes into my live lies, then he goes host lives about lies as if that is normal. It's not normal, Tom. It's disgusting and it's disturbing and it's deranged. Join me in giving Tiny Tank Top Tom a round of booze and shame. They make it so easy.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
They come in here. I'm literally almost at a point where I just want to sit back and just watch the MAGA demon reveal all that it's capable of, and it's not capable of doing much. And I just want to sit back and watch it and just get a good laugh, because these folks, ladies and gentlemen, they don't know how to process reality. I was in my good friend, I'm kind of getting off topic, but I was in my good friend Jeff's live. You know HVAC, ladies and gentlemen. He's done a pretty good job turning things around, right? Let's give Jeff a round of applause. I go into HVAC's live. You got RTP Felice in there going through MAGA demon after MAGA demon after MAGA demon. Facts? Boom! Hit him with the facts. Oh, whoa. Well, what about this? Hit him with the facts. Oh. By the end of every conversation, the MAGA demon is completely dizzy. It's dizzy, it's confused, and yet it's still, you ever seen one of those movies where they just refuse to let go because they're just holding on? They think this, even though the end is coming, they're still holding on. Oh, I'm going to hold on to this lie Donald Trump told me. And I don't care how bad I should. And I said, these people, there's really nothing else. There's really nothing you can do with these people. They are going to hold on to Donald Trump like their life depends on it, no matter how ridiculous they look. I mean, what's the reason? I'm thinking to myself, what would make a person make themselves look this crazy in front of everybody else? And I said, you know what? Either they're on that stuff and they all need to be tested, or they're possessed with the MAGA demon. So at this point, ladies and gentlemen, it's really about, they're holding on to Donald Trump for dear life. It's really about how far you want to see these MAGA demons go. Some of them might actually go the next level and do something that we all know is dangerous. But I said, you know what? At this point, playtime is over. We must all be committed to the same mission, sending these Trump supporters straight to hell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving all these MAGA demons who refuse to let go of Donald Trump what they deserve. Another round of booze and shame. I don't even need you to come in the box. Right?
You MAGA demon.
Speaking of holding on and never letting go, here we are. Donald Trump has been convicted, right? Here we are. And his supporters, they've literally let go of the idea that he couldn't be convicted, because, they were holding on till their knuckles turned white. He'll never. They let it go, and they were falling off, and then they had a little bit of strength left, and they grabbed on to whatever was left. And when they grabbed on to this thing called the appeal. Oh, the appeal process. So now they're holding on to this appeal nonsense, right? And who knows what they'll hold on to after this, right? But let's talk about MAGA demon Byron Donalds, who was left speechless after Laura Coates recounted the jury's instructions that led to former President Donald Trump's hush money trial conviction. All of a sudden, these Trump supporters, they go and talk to that legal guru, one of the legal gurus on TikTok. You all know who this knucklehead is, who brands themselves as a legal guru. And they got everything wrong.
Be with you.
They got everything wrong, right, about the trial. There'll never be a trial. This is what they said. There'll never be a trial. Then we all watched the trial, right? 22 witnesses, right? 11 checks, 11 invoices, 12 ledger entries, 34 felony charges. We all watched this trial day in, day out. These folks were wrong. The entire trial, they were wrong. Jury goes back, deliberates. You know what they said? Oh, no, they're not going to convict because what's the underlying crime? What's the predicate crime? Jury comes back quicker than their heads can spin. Guilty, all 34 counts. So you were wrong the entire time. And now all of a sudden, this is what I say, now all of a sudden, you're going to be right when it comes to appeal? You can't make this stuff up, folks. Listen up.
It was Detroit, whether it was the South Bronx, whether it was Philadelphia. I've seen him make this case to the American people time and time again. Of course he talks about what happens in Lower Manhattan, because at the end of the day, his constitutional rights were violated in that courtroom in Manhattan.
You hear what that deranged MAGA demon just said? That Donald Trump's constitutional rights were violated in the Manhattan courtroom. See, so we get all the way to this point, and now the rights were violated. Wow.
And every legal commentator, virtually every legal scholar, all agree that that case is going to be overturned at the appellate level because he didn't even know what he was defending himself against. The Supreme Court just came out the other day and said that if you're going to try to convict somebody, that the jury has to be consistent about the actual crime. That did not occur in Lower Manhattan. But at the end of the day, Donald Trump, of course he talks about it, but the overwhelming message is about what his administration, when he comes back as the 47th president, is going to mean for the American people. And I guarantee you this, it will be significantly better for all Americans than the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris administration.
Okay, so that's Byron DeRay. Look at this brother right here. Just like all the other brothers that come into my live worshiping Donald Trump, embarrassing himself. All right, and he does it on national television every single day. Hey, Byron Donalds, I got a question for you. What's in it for you, bro? What are you getting out of this?
Just for the edification of the audience, you're talking about the nuance of the New York jury instruction where they did not have to agree on the underlying predicate crime that would elevate it from a misdemeanor to a felony, but they had to be unanimous in their overall decision. I'll be very curious to see how that plays out at the appellate level and, of course, what the Supreme Court has to say about a very pressing issue right now. But
Bingo, Laura Coates. Thank you for debunking deranged, MAGA demon-possessed Byron Donalds. The jury instructions didn't require them to do what you were trying to say, Byron. And this nonsense about the Supreme Court, sir, you're wrong about. So to every Trump supporter out there that still believes deranged Byron Donalds, first thing you should ask yourself is, what is Byron Donalds getting out of getting on his knees and embarrassing himself in the name of worshiping Donald Trump? Is he doing all of this just to be the VP, perhaps? Because between him and his competition, you know who his competition is, right? Tim Scott. I think it's safe to say between him and Tim Scott, neither of them really have a chance. So as far as I'm concerned, they're a disgrace to themselves. They're a disgrace to their community, and they deserve to get sent straight to the pits of hell. All right, speaking of pits of hell, let's send them there. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Byron Donalds a round of boos and shame. Bye, Byron.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Yeah. You know, what we do over here, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, it's pretty unique, right? You know, I see there's people in my audience right now. There's people in the audience right now. They're saying, Zeus, Zeus, please please let up Zeus. All right, please let up Zeus because it's causing me to experience an outer body experience right now this morning, Zeus. All I wanted to do was wake up and watch Joe Biden and Donald Trump debate. But what you're doing, it's making me very uncomfortable. You know, can you please stop? And the answer to that question is no, I will not stop. I'm going to keep going. And maybe you didn't hear me at the top of the show. Let me repeat it again to you, Trump supporters. If you don't like this broadcast, you know exactly what to do.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Yeah. I say that to the snowflakes, the MAGA demons out there. Isn't it safe to say all they do is cry? I've never seen a bunch of crybabies like this in my life. What are you crying over? Oh, the way you're treating my master, Donald J. Trump. Oh, my God. Grow up and get a pair. Seriously. All right. Let's talk about this next topic while we're speaking on it. Black Americans for Trump event, a major bust that featured a sea of white people. Byron Donalds this week headlined a Black Americans for Trump event in Atlanta. All right. The New Republic's Talia Jane has deemed a major bust. In her dispatch of the event, Jane notes that Trump didn't even bother to show up, and instead he spoke to these attendees via telephone about his planned tax cuts for business. He can't even do a Zoom session with y'all. He on the phone doing it. Man, this guy really don't care about y'all. This is ridiculous. But it wasn't just Trump's decision to literally phone in his appearance that made the event so lackluster, writes Jane. The roundtable setup featured Representative and Trump VP wannabe Byron Donalds, former Trump Housing and Urban Development Secretary Ben Carson, and Representatives Wesley Hunt in attendance, she writes. The seats were positioned in a semi-arc facing a gaggle of cameras and a sea of white people, and everyone looks abundantly unenthused to be there. Jane goes on to explain how the Atlanta event was just one of a string of failed black voter outreach efforts. Quote, in May, Trump hosted a small rally in the Bronx to gin up black vote after an even smaller appearance at Harlem Bodega in April, she writes. And in June, Trump appeared at a black church in Detroit before skipping off to a white nationalist convention. The disrespect, right, is at an all-time high with this guy. The church stunt was a flop. At least half the audience was white. None of the attendees reporters spoke with were actual congregants. And the mega church pastor said people laughed in his face when he scrambled to find people to fill pews for the event. You hear this, MAGA? I mean, especially you blacks for Donald Trump. I hope that, where's that brother that came into my live and told me, he said, Zeus, I won yesterday, which is what every Trump supporter says, despite the fact that they lose, because they learned it from Donald Trump, right? That's what Donald Trump said on January 6th. Keep winning, you blacks for Donald Trump, because all you're doing is embarrassing yourself, your family, your community, and your ancestors, running around here worshiping Donald J. Trump, who comes and panders to you and then goes and kicks it with the white nationalists. Wow. Do y'all understand, you blacks for Donald Trump, that y'all are actually funding this? You're funding your demise. And yes, the white nationalists definitely are laughing at you, but guess who's also laughing at you? The rest of the world, including me. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving these blacks for Donald Trump what they deserve, all right? These folks are the worst of the worst and the scum of the earth. Join me in giving them a round of, you guessed it, boos and shame. You never demon. Yeah, milk does. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, Any Trump supporters upset with my show so far? Put a one in the chat, MAGA, if you're upset with my show, please. I would love to see it. Is there any Trump supporters that are upset with what I'm saying right now? To be honest, I don't care. Look at him. You got one to put a one. Take a good look at me, Bond, whatever you want to call yourself. Take a good look at me. Do you think I care? No. I actually feel great. I feel real good knowing that you're upset right now and you probably can't even drink your orange juice because your hands are shaking right now. I don't care. You deserve to feel that way because think about all the terror and the destruction. Think about all the harm you and your friends have caused this country to suffer and experience because of your unwavering loyalty to Donald Trump. This is some sick stuff you've gotten yourself in. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we should talk about this, right? Donald Trump and Taylor Swift. The internet erupts after Trump gets real weird about Taylor Swift in an interview. Let's listen to this interview real quick, ladies and gentlemen, or not the interview, but let's listen up to what he says. All right.
That you're about to hear. Trump reportedly repeatedly, not reportedly, because you'll hear it for yourself, praises the pop star's looks and talks about her politics with Variety editor-in-chief Graham Instituto.
What do you think about Taylor Swift? I think she's one of the most famous people right now.
Yeah, I think she's beautiful, very beautiful. I find her very beautiful. I think she's liberal. She probably doesn't like Trump, but I hear she's very talented. But I think she's very beautiful, actually. Unusually beautiful.
5 times beautiful in just those few seconds. Ramin Instituto is interviewed Trump and he's out front. And I know, Ramin, that you spent more than 4 hours over the course of 6 different interviews talking with him. You have the tapes, all for your new book, Apprentice in Wonderland. So Taylor Swift, obviously he railed against her for endorsing Biden at a meeting with Republicans on Capitol Hill. He seems to have a real focus on her, an obsession with her. Tell me more about it.
It's interesting. Thank you for having me on. It's interesting because in this audio clip, we have an intersection of 2 of the things that matter most to Donald Trump.
What is that?
Fame, which Taylor Swift is one of the most famous people on the planet,
Facts.
and his perception of beauty. And I think even Donald Trump knows that Taylor Swift is so famous that he can't go up against her even though she didn't endorse him in 2020. And so you hear him kind of trying to negotiate what to say about her. And later on in the clip, I even ask if he's familiar with Taylor's music, and he says no. But This is his way of trying to say that he likes Taylor Swift in the hopes that somehow Taylor Swift will like him back.
You see that, MAGA? Donald Trump is powerless against Taylor Swift, all right? So guess what he does? Oh, you're so beautiful. To try to get her to not do what she knows that she's going to do, which is, make sure he doesn't get reelected. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure you Trump supporters understand this. Donald Trump is getting his butt handed to him by Taylor Swift because guess what? She's everything and more because of her position. Okay, great artist. Donald Trump knows it. The only thing he can say is she's beautiful, even though he knows what she's going to say and do come November. MAGA, do you see what's going to happen? Does it look like a sign Donald Trump's going to get reelected? Absolutely not. Donald Trump knows he better tread lightly. And I do he better tread lightly when you mention Taylor Swift's name, or it's going to be the worst experience of your life. And to you Trump supporters, you better fall in line with Donald Trump. Because you get out here, you start talking crazy about Taylor Swift, she's going to sick the dogs on you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Join me in giving Donald Trump a round of boos and shame because he knows he's too weak. He's a weak man and he's afraid of Taylor Swift, but he won't tell his supporters it, but we will. Let's give him some boos and shame. Silence, you MAGA demon. All right, I see I'm a little pressed for time, and I'm really going to try to stick to my time slot because yesterday's live. Yesterday, I do apologize. I had to cut it short, and I wasn't able to do the Closet of Truth, but it did get interesting. All right, but when you're under the clock, you got to do what you got to do. But let's continue and then open up those boxes. All right, just hang in there. So this is an interview with MGT. You know who we call her. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene. I like to call her Marjorie Trader Greene because of what she did on January 6th. All right, and what she continues to do. Right. So she's in an interview via Zoom. It looks like with the news organization in Australia. And the news anchor realizes that Marjorie, you know what? I'll just let you be the judge of it, all right? What is this? Australian anchor cuts the interview as MTG fumes when she is asked if she would accept Biden's election win. I mean, and this, to me, this is what I said. And this is a good way in terms of how you might just have to start dealing with these MAGA demons, all right? You really just might have to start doing this with these Trump supporters, all right? All right, so let's get into this. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hold on 1 second. Don't worry. Okay, we gotta pay the bills. Hold on. Jesus Christ. Okay, here it is right there. Here it is. Hold on. Jesus Christ. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, while we get this thing queued up. All right. Sometimes the internet takes. Okay. I think we got something going on over here. Hold on. Jesus Christ, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Look at this. What has MAGA done to my Wi-Fi?
You can make progress by things you love.
And lie and tried to pervert the truth. He told the truth, and we appreciate him for that.
And if it doesn't go your way, if Biden wins, will you accept the result?
Again, what does this have to do with Julian Assange? Seriously,
it's the
really, that's what we're supposed to be
about
talking
truth. And why would I?
What network is this? What is this? ABC in Australia? Is she getting any marching orders from the Democrat Party? I mean, is this what you decided to come up with today?
You're a prominent figure in US politics. The first debate is tomorrow. The result of the election is on the minds not just of Americans but of the whole world. So it's a natural point of curiosity. But I understand that we've reached the end of the questions that you want to answer. Thank you for talking to us about Julian Assange and for joining the program.
You see what she just did? See, when you liars, you Trump supporters, you know how earlier I was talking about they just hold on to the lie until their knuckles turn white, even if it means they might lose their life. We understand that you don't want to tell the truth. Thank you for the interview. Listen to it again. This is going to be what I start. This might be what I just have to start doing to the MAGA demon.
But I understand that we've reached the end of the questions that you want to answer. Thank you for talking to us about Julian Assange and for joining the program.
I understand we've reached the end of the questions that you want to answer. And that's a good way to deal with the MAGA demon because the truth isn't in them. These folks, they lie. These folks will lie. They will go to church on a Sunday, all right, 9 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. sharp in their best Sunday attire. They will go sit in the front of the church just to lie for Donald Trump. This is some sick cult-like stuff they do. All right, and I'm on to it like white on rice, and I'm not going for it. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving Marjorie Trader Greene what she deserves. All right, this is a MAGA demon. Take a look at her face. There's no truth in there. There's no soul in there. Just I love Donald Trump demon in there, MAGA demon. Join me in sending her straight to the pits of hell with the other MAGA demons. Let's go. Moves and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
silence, you MAGA demons. All right. I see there's some folks out there upset with this live, and like I said,
if you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
To you Trump supporters, let me ask you a serious question. Why are you still here? Why are you still in the United States? All right, I got a crystal ball over here. I know exactly why you're upset. Immigration, right? The border, inflation, the economy, right? Now they got this new thing. I'm afraid to go to war. This is what Trump supporters get in my box and do. I'm afraid to go to war, Zeus, and I don't think Joe Biden in the White House, I might end up having to go to war. Zeus, please, let's put Donald Trump back in there because he'll stop us from having to stop me from having to put on those boots and that uniform and go fight for this country. This is what they tell me. But they had no problem lacing up those boots, right? And getting in that U-Haul and driving to Washington, D.C. to go to war for Donald Trump to attack this country. You know what I'm talking about, January 6th. Isn't it funny, MAGA? You're afraid to go fight a war to defend this country, but you have no problem joining Donald Trump's army to attack this country. Y'all are some sick people, I tell you. Do you all understand how the rest of us see you? Zero credibility. Like I said, you're lucky I can't be a dictator for day one. Just for one day. I wish they would have asked me that question. Zeus, what do you think about being a dictator? Would you be a dictator if we let you have the keys to the White House, Zeus? You know, because they would ask it to me like that. If we gave you the keys to the White House, what would you do with it on the first day? I say, I'd just be a dictator for one day. And the first day I get in office, I am going to sign executive order after executive order, making sure every single Trump supporter is deported. It will be the biggest deportation in American history. They're so lucky I can't do it. Wouldn't that be nice, ladies and gentlemen? All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Trump's Newsmax interview got weird after they ran this note about the 2020 election dismissing the ex-president. Listen to Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, show us how.
Oh, that's great, sir. And listen, what do we do at Hezbollah, sir? What's the plan? And I know you don't want to give away all the strategy, but I'm sure you've got an idea of the way you would handle that.
Well, it's Hamas, it's Hezbollah, it's 28 different cells of terror, they call them. And again, Iran was busted. They had no money when I was president. Now they have a lot of money, $250 billion. So it's different. But you handle situations as you handle them. You got to be respected throughout all the world. You have to be respected. I hate to use the word feared, but that's not so bad either. And once we get it going and once we're in power, and we have to be because we're not going to have a country. If we don't win this election, November 5th, if we don't win this election, we won't have a country left, Corey. We're not going to have a country, and you know that better than anybody. We are laughed at. They think we're fools. They can't believe that Biden is the president, and we're going to turn that around. We're going to turn it around very fast.
All right. So I want you all to know that suddenly during this interview, this is on Newsmax. They ended up, while Donald Trump was talking, displaying the most awkward message for Trump, saying, quote, "Please note, Newsmax accepts the 2020 election results as legal and final." Why do you all think Newsmax did that while Donald Trump was talking? Does anyone have any idea why Newsmax, a right-wing network, had to put that up? Tiny Take Top Tom, can you explain why Newsmax had to put that up while Donald Trump was talking about the 2020 election? Oh, they know he lies. Oh, they don't want to be sued. they are trying to be accountable. Yeah. Yeah. In other words, they understand Donald Trump is filled with the MAGA demon, and they're doing everything they can to make sure they don't end up having to pay for his lies. Yeah, the lie, like the lie he supposedly said to all of you on January 6th. Oh, who won the election in January 2020? Oh, frankly, I won. That lie, MAGA. You see how Zeus keeps catching you Trump supporters in every single lie you can imagine? It's not difficult. All you got to do is use your brain. And I know a lot of them can't use their brain because have you ever seen a Trump supporter? Have you ever heard a Trump supporter trying to think, ladies and gentlemen? You know, because when they think they got something, they just start, ooh, I got something for you, Zeus. And I said, what does that remind me of? I said, oh yeah, this is what it's like when a Trump supporter starts to think. Go ahead. Push the gas pedal down a little bit. Try that. Maybe that'll work. Is there any gas in there? Oh yeah. Yeah, you might want to call a tow truck. You might want to call a tow truck. Yeah. Stop. You're gonna drain the battery. Stop. You're gonna drain the battery. Call a tow truck. That thing ain't going anywhere. And that's just how it is when you're talking to a Trump supporter. MAGA, don't do another thought, because you're embarrassing yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving these Trump supporters once again another round of boos and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
Yeah. They don't like me because I get out of here and tell the truth. And I said to them, every time I go on a live now, they go, Zeus, tell me that you're not being paid by the DNC, pallet management. MAGA, I don't know how else to say that I'm not being paid by them other than this. Look at this, MAGA. Check this out. You see that? You see that, MAGA, right there? Look at that. You see how my hand went through? You know what that means? No strings attached. I am not a hand puppet. You are though. Y'all a bunch of hand puppets out here shucking and jiving for Donald J. Trump. Thank you so much, Belinda. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, I must provide you all with the J6 update. All right, so let's get started and then get up out of here and open up these boxes. I gotta be quick. Oh my gosh! Once again, I am going beyond my time. All right, sorry about that. So before I go into J6, real quick. Is there any Trump supporter out there that still believes Donald Trump's claim about the 2020 election? All right, this one.
It's a rigged election. It's the only way we're going to lose.
Any Trump supporters still believe that? Let's go. I'll give you 5 seconds to answer the question and say you do, yes or no. Does anyone out there still believe Donald Trump's claim that the 2020 election was rigged? All right. Okay. We got a brave one. Come on up here real quickly. Under a minute, please. Explain why you still believe Donald Trump's claim that the 2020 election was rigged. I just invited you. Come on, one of you come up here. Why do you all get scared to put a little meat on the bone? Come on up here real quick, come into the light and say exactly why you believe it was rigged. I've been doing this for a while. We want to hear it. All right. Who do we got right here?
MJ.
MJ. All right. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
All right. You're a Trump supporter, correct?
Well, I'm a supporter of whoever is trying to help my people.
Fair enough.
Much.
All right. So when you say people, I'm assuming you're in the community of people of color, correct?
Yes.
All right. Why do you still believe Donald Trump's claim that the 2020 election was rigged? And I'm only asking you to keep it short and sweet because we don't got much time, if you don't mind.
No problem. I feel that it was rigged because, all of politics is falling apart, really and truly. I don't feel that Biden was even in control of the election, let alone of his bodily functions. I feel as though politics is one big circus. And really and truly, they have us so focused on looking at this party and that party and not focused on what's truly and really going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all just one big psyop. So of course it
Okay.
was rigged.
Okay. So I'm going to note the word circus, all right? Because that's
Hmm.
very interesting, all right? So what I'm going to do now, MJ, is I'm going to help you understand why it wasn't rigged, all right? And if you're still here at the end of this, I would love to have you come back up with any additional questions that you might have, all right?
Okay, no
All right,
problem.
all right. And by the way, I just wanted to let you know, for the sake of this show, ladies and gentlemen, MJ was wrong. She was wrong. So MJ, you are very respectful to Zeus, but unfortunately, I got to do what I got to do. We got to give MJ a round of boos and shame. Sorry, MJ.
Silence! You MAGA demon!
Don't worry, MJ. It's going to sting a little bit, but trust me, it's a good thing, right? Because what it's going to do is help you come forward, all right, and into the light. Behind me, MJ, is the stock market, right? Do you have any idea why the stock market was doing this while Trump was in office? I'll give you a hint. It had a lot to do. It had a lot to do with this.
And again, when you have 15 people, and the 15 within a couple of days is going to be down to close to zero, that's a pretty good job we've done.
Today, the U.S. hit a grim milestone of 1 million cases of the coronavirus. Back in late February, you predicted that the number of cases would go down to zero. How did we get from your prediction of zero to 1 million?
Well, it will go down to zero ultimately. And you have to understand, when it comes to cases, we do much more testing.
So this is the unemployment. You saw the stock market, and I got other graphs that show the gas, all right? The gas value was going down, and it actually was costing oil companies to have all this gas because people weren't driving. The economy was definitely in shambles, all right? The nation experienced a lockdown, and this is all on the backdrop of the pandemic that Donald Trump mismanaged. And so what ended up happening was, you know, like if you're at a job and your performance starts to slip, perhaps, they're going to actually take note of that, right? And do things to try to get you to get it right. Or and if you can't get it right, you're done. So this is what happened to Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. The writing was on the wall. The pandemic revealed Donald Trump was unfit to be president of the United States of America. And voters, when they went and voted, they voted to fire him, right? That's the truth. But what did Donald Trump do? Because he knew that. What did he do? Because he didn't think too kindly of you supporters of his. He decided to engage in some schemes. Can you say schemes? MAGA, can you say schemes? All right, so let's talk about it. During the night of the election, when the results came out, did Donald Trump come out and concede and say, Joe Biden, congratulations? No. This is what he did instead.
You had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened?
See, when he goes, oh, that's an authentic emotion, specially engineered, and Trump learned it. When you do that, you get in your people's attention. Because everyone can relate to that, no matter what culture, no matter what gender. You all know that, oh, that means it's serious. I watched Bruce Lee before when he goes, oh, that meant this is serious. And you all bid it. You fell for it. So now that he's gotten your attention, guess what he tried to do next? MJ, I hope you're still here. This is going down, as far as I'm concerned, one of the greatest tricks I've seen Donald Trump do. Thank you for the subscription. I didn't see your name, but thank you. Listen to what he does.
76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden, everything just stopped. Mm-hmm. This is a fraud on the American public.
Okay.
This is an embarrassment to our country.
Okay.
We were getting ready to win this election.
Right.
Frankly, we did win this election.
Did you hear that part? You see how he snuck that in? We were getting ready to win. And then he says, frankly, we did. And his supporters, I call them soldiers, they began to they instantly believed the scoreboard changed. You know, Donald Trump was losing. He was down 10. And when he said that, they believed he was up 10. That's the trick. And so now that all of his soldiers believe that the election was stolen, what does Donald Trump decide to do? Well, there's another part of this scheme that I want you to also keep in mind. Here it goes.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
That's the fake elector scheme. Can you say scheme? I really say it like that because I want MAGA to understand when you see this man, see the word scheme. So he has the fake elector scheme, and he has his soldiers believing that it was stolen. That's the other scheme, but there's others out there too. He went to the Supreme Court and they rejected it 60 times, right? So he tried all these things, and then he decided, you know what? Now that I got my troops angry enough, I need to get them to Washington, D.C., right? And so if you remember this, he put out a tweet. Let me see if I got that tweet really quickly. All right, let me see if I got that tweet on standby because I like to make sure you all see the pictures that I've memorized so that we can all agree that it happened. Because you know I got this knucklehead in my chat, Tiny Tank Top Tom. He likes to say, Zeus, where did you get it from? All right. He decides to invite a mob of his soldiers to Washington, D.C. This is how he did it. Attention, all Trump supporters. I lost to Joe Biden fair and square, and I'm very angry and upset. So what I need you all to do is to send me your hard-earned money, because that would make Daddy feel good. All right, but then the next thing I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to meet me in Washington, D.C. at an event I am hosting called Stop the Steal. It's going to be a big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there, will be wild. And then his supporters, they said, what? An opportunity to be wet and wild with our dad? That's an opportunity I can't pass up on. So they decided to follow up and meet him in D.C. All right, this really did happen. All right, MJ. And then there was a situation that happened with some of the supporters. They had to figure out what's the most economical and affordable way for us to get to Washington, D.C. Right? And since they had sent all their money, thank you, Tom. Yes, since they had sent all the money, they needed to get that deal, $19.99 a day, unlimited miles. And this is what they picked, the U-Haul. And as you can see, this U-Haul didn't make it because law enforcement grabbed them and nabbed them, all right, as they should have. Now, what was funny about this is when the police pulled this particular U-Haul over, they got him out of the car, and you wouldn't believe it, but look at the people that came out of that U-Haul right there. Who's that? White nationalists. Yeah, the Patriot Front. The Proud Boys, Boogaloo Boys, Oath Keepers, those type of knuckleheads. Freeze, get out of the U-Haul. I mean, imagine a cop having to say that. All of you, get out of the U-Haul. Where you going? Oh, we're heading to Washington, D.C. to meet up with our cult leader, Donald Trump. Yeah, big protest, Washington, D.C. Be there. It's going to be wild. Yeah, unfortunately, you won't make it. This is some sick stuff they gotten themselves into. All right, so to the ones that did make it, all right, oh, by the way, one thing I always like to point out about this was in the pandemic. And you remember, during the pandemic, these people wouldn't wear a mask, right? It was their right to spread that nasty thing, that virus. But isn't it so funny that they had no problem putting the mask on when it was time to be racist and commit crimes? Isn't that funny? Yeah. That's the wild thing, MAGA. We always catch you in your lies. So, for the soldiers that got to Washington, D.C., I kid you not, when they got to Washington, D.C., they received an update from Marjorie Trader Green. You know, I call her Lieutenant Marge. And guess what Marjorie said to these soldiers? Listen to what she said to them.
Everything. If we flood the Capitol buildings, flood all the government buildings, go inside. These are public buildings. We own them. We own these buildings. Do you understand that? We own the buildings and we pay all the people that work in the building.
So she's instructing Donald Trump's soldiers to get ready to go to the Capitol and attack. But you can't do it. You can't do it until Donald Trump gives you the order. But trust me, you're going to do it. You better get ready. So what happens next? Well, I hope you're still here, MJ. There's a meeting that took place in the White House between Donald Trump and his vice president at the time, Mike Pence. Donald Trump moseys on into the White House in the office. Hey, Pence, buddy, old pal. Are you going to do that thing you and I talked about? You know, not certifying those votes for Joe Biden? Everything's in place. I got my fake elector scheme in place, right? Can you say scheme, MAGA? And I got my soldiers waiting for me at the ellipse. Mike Pence grew a little spine that day, and he says, Mr. President, unfortunately, I can't do that for you because in order for me to do that, that would require me to place you above the United States of America's Constitution, a document that our founding fathers and framers fought and bled for, a document that to this day Americans continue to fight and bleed for. And as a matter of fact, Mr. President, I don't think anyone asking me to do such a thing is fit to be President of the United States of America. Donald Trump, flustered, blown away. He says, you know what? And he leans into Mike Pence's airspace. You know, his breath was smelling like Big Macs and Diet Coke. And he says, you know what your problem is, Pence? You're a little too honest. And he called him the nasty P word. You know, the same P word you Christians heard him use in the Access Hollywood tape. He says, I'll go take care of this myself. Security, talking to Secret Service, take me to the ellipse to be with my soldiers. Sir, those people are armed to the T. They got military grade equipment. They got tactical gear. They got metal chains, whip spats. I mean, they got some dangerous stuff there, Mr. President. They even got this thing called demon spray. He says, what's demon spray? Oh, you mix a little bear spray with a little wasp spray and maybe a little bee spray, you know, and then you put some orange dye in and say a little prayer over it, right? And what happens is when you spray it on someone, the MAGA demon will jump in them. Donald Trump says, they got that? He says, yes, sir. And then he says, I don't care. They're not bringing it harm me. Take me to be with my soldiers. Yes, sir. So they take him to the ellipse to meet up with his troops. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is Donald Trump getting on the stage at the ellipse, getting ready to encourage his supporters to engage in heinous acts of violence. And as you can see, he's wearing that little black trench coat and those leather gloves. And you know how I feel about those leather gloves, right? You know there's other crime scenes out there that involve leather gloves. I don't want to say OJ, but darn it, I knew when I saw this moment on my television, right? I was out in the kingdom. I was tending to the affairs, and this moment flashed across the TV. I checked every network. I said, no, please, stop this man right now. And they couldn't stop him. And I watched him literally encourage his soldiers to engage in heinous acts of violence. Listen to how he did it.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
So that's Donald Trump encouraging his soldiers to engage in heinous acts of violence, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And what else did we hear his soldiers say? All right. What else was going on in their minds? Because they heard a lot of things being said that day. Trump supporters don't like it that I do this, but I'm playing these parts because I want you to understand what was fueling them that day. Listen up.
And we fight. We fight like hell And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Right.
So, let's have trial by combat.
Right?
We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
You hear that?
Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength.
Right. Listen, I mean, the rhetoric speaks for itself, right, ladies and gentlemen? The rhetoric speaks for itself. And so let's listen to it one more time.
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
You hear that? All right, one more time.
So, let's have trial by combat.
Let's have trial by combat. All right, and so let's fast forward to one of his soldiers that day that took him up on his word. Do any of you know who that is? Does anyone know who that is? That's Ashley Babbitt, ladies and gentlemen, who had been radicalized by right-wing media and Donald Trump, and we know what happened to Ashley. But let's listen to what Ashley Babbitt was saying on or around January 6th, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to her rhetoric.
District, why don't you worry about your own goddamn district and the shit that's going on there? You are a complete, I'm telling you right now, I'm putting all you on notice. Every single one of you politicians in California, Gavin Newsom, Jerry Brown, Maxine Waters, Duncan Hunter, what the hell is Kamala? Where is Kamala? Talking about ISIS like KKK. We got this MAGA caravan. You know what? We have thousands of people on the other side of the border. If people can't get to work, our economy is going to take an absolute tank because you guys refuse to choose America over your stupid political party. Capital and a mob, there's an estimated over 3 million people here today. So despite what the media tells you, boots on the ground definitely say something different. There is a sea of nothing but red, white, and blue patriots in Trump.
A sea of nothing but red, white, and blue patriots for Donald Trump. She's radicalized. She's ready to engage in heinous acts of violence. And why is she doing this? Why is Ashley Babbitt at the United States Capitol on January 6th with other Trump supporters? Why? And we all know what happened to Ashley Babbitt, right? This is the moment right before Ashley Babbitt lost her life. That's right before Ashley Babbitt lost her life in the battlefield for Donald Trump. She was one of Donald Trump's foot soldiers, a woman that he should have protected by telling her the truth and saying, Ashley, I really didn't lose to Joe Biden. Come on, go be with your family, Ashley, and to all his supporters. All y'all go be with y'all family. I was just kidding. He never did it. Instead, he watched Ashley Babbitt lose her life on the battlefield because of his big lie. And what did Donald Trump do, ladies and gentlemen, when he found out that Ashley Babbitt had lost her life? Does anyone know what Donald Trump did when he found out Ashley Babbitt had lost her life in the battlefield? Does anyone out there know exactly what he did? Stroke man, good answer. Antichrist Trump did nothing. A lot of you in the chat, you're right. Listen to what Donald Trump did when he found out one of his foot soldiers, Ashley Babbitt, lost her life.
Information that stands out to me is that Donald Trump was passed a note after one of the rioters was shot in the Capitol and was made clear that this person had been shot, this woman had been shot in the chest. And the valet says that he offered no reaction upon learning that. He kept sitting in the chair watching the violence unfurl on TV.
A non-reaction at the death of Ashley Babbitt.
A non-reaction at one of his foot soldiers losing her life in the battlefield because of his big lie. She wouldn't have been there if Donald Trump simply acknowledged that Joe Biden won the election. That's why, to this day, 4 years from the day, well, we're around 4 years, you still have Americans that believe that the election that Joe Biden won was rigged, despite the evidence that proves it wasn't. Donald Trump lured his supporters to the United States Capitol in order to watch them risk their life and their freedom for his big lie. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the crime scene This is the crime scene of January 6th that all of us remember. This was not a peaceful protest like BLM. This was not a little tourist visit that had gone awry. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a crime scene planned and organized by Donald Trump and his inner circle all the way down to his foot soldiers. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I must bring to your attention that we have another MAGA demon that has been brought to justice for their conduct on January 6th. A resident of Martin County was arrested Wednesday in Stewart for his involvement in the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th. The DOJ said the suspect, Troy Vincent Garrett, 48, is a member of the far-right Proud Boys organization. Listen up, you blacks, for Donald Trump. I want you to understand this is who you're standing shoulder to shoulder with. He is accused of assaulting law enforcement and faces other charges related to his alleged conduct during the breach of the United States Capitol. Garrett is charged in a criminal complaint filed in D.C. with felony offenses of assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers and civil disorder. The DOJ said that in addition to the felonies, Garrett is also charged with several misdemeanor offenses, including entering and remaining in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, acts of physical violence in restricted building or grounds, and disorderly conduct in the Capitol building. After his arrest, Stewart made his initial appearance before a federal judge in South Florida. According to court documents, prosecutors said Garrett was identified by publicly available footage and images taken prior to him breaching the Capitol. As Capitol police officers attempted to keep rioters from advancing beyond a police line near the south side of the plaza, prosecutors said video showed Garrett shoving at Capitol police officers' riot shield with the riot shield in his hand. All right. The DOJ said Garrett remained in this area and near the police line when a large blue billboard on a metal support frame bearing the message Trump 2020 Keep America Great was carried by a group of rioters into the Lower West Plaza. All right. As rioters began to drive the blue billboard into the police line, prosecutors said video showed Garrett approaching the rioters, pushing the billboard against the police line, and placing his right hand on the black backpack of another rioter who was actively pushing against the police officers. All right. And I'll just say this. Up to now, there's around 1,450 individuals who have been charged in nearly all 50 states for crimes related to the breach of the United States Capitol, including more than 500 individuals charged with assaulting or impeding law enforcement, a felony. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's send this MAGA demon straight to hell. Troy Vincent Garrett, congratulations. You've allowed Donald Trump to use you as a vassal of transgression, and for that, we must punish you accordingly. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving him what this seditionist, treasonous traitor deserves, and racist. Join me in giving him a round of boos and shame. All right, and since he wanted to be a soldier in the Confederate Army so bad, let's send this soldier off the old-fashioned way.
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
Do you Trump supporters understand now how Donald Trump played you all like a fiddle, and he continues to do it to this day? Let me help break it down for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump and his supporters think the rest of the world is laughing at America. Let me clear that up right now. They're not laughing at America. They're laughing at you. You who wear those red hats and are in Donald Trump's circus. Why do you say it's a circus, Zeus? Because look at what Donald Trump does. He does exactly what a clown does. A clown wears makeup every single day. This guy right here, he puts that orange makeup. Don't I look so good? And you all believe him. A clown wears a wig. This guy puts that bird's nest smack dab right there on top of his head every day. Just like a clown puts on a wig. You ever seen a clown with that thing on its waist in that ridiculous suit? He does the same exact thing. He puts on that diaper, all right? And he puts on that ridiculous, that crumpled blue suit with that ridiculous tie. And he gets on his social media platform and he gives you all your daily orders. Send him the money, all right? And cry, just like he does. And they go, well, Zeus, I need you to help me understand why you say circus, though. Okay, think about it, MAGA. He's selling you golden shoes. When do you need golden shoes anywhere in your normal life except for in a circus? He's selling you Trump bucks, Trump University, all things that are not even valuable in the real world. Trump steaks, Trump water. All right, this guy got a scam for you. Trump bucks, NFTs, stock. You buy it, you send it to him religiously. All right. And you walk that tightrope of lies for him. You jump through those hoops of misinformation for him. And the rest of the world sees this, and we can't help but laugh because it's so funny that he's gotten a bunch of adults to go along with this. Like I said, Donald Trump's going to go down in the Guinness Book of World Records as the most successful ringmaster ever. Because the way he's doing all of you is, wow, I've never seen a group of so dedicated group of people willing to break their oath with God, right? Violate their oath with God, violate their oath with their husbands and their wives for his name's sake. You are all in a nasty cult and you are all on your way straight to the pits of hell. And if you don't get out, like I said, you are all guaranteed to get the ultimate MAGA reward. What's the ultimate MAGA reward? Jail, and if you don't get your soul right, hell, with a chapter 11 in between. Just take a look at Rudy Giuliani, all right? Mark Meadows, John Eastman, Jenna Ellis, all of them, including this man himself. Ain't he on his way to jail? Ain't he on his way to going broke? And you know what's next? Is when you end up going straight to hell. And you can't say to the good Lord when you meet him, well, I didn't know, good Lord, why you're sending me on that Trump train to hell. I thought the Trump train was going straight to heaven. And he's going to say, nope. Didn't you hear Zeus telling you the truth? And what did you do? You chose to ignore Zeus. And so with that, you're going to be in paradise with your cult leader, Donald Trump, right in the lake of fire. All right. Let me open up these boxes, ladies and gentlemen, all right? And let's hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth, all right? I once again, you get 3 minutes to get in the box and tell the truth. And this is the part of the show that we get to hear from everyday Americans, all right? And like I said, to the Trump supporters, stop embarrassing yourself holding on to Donald Trump's lies. If you got any evidence to prove any of the stuff you believe, be prepared to bring it up in the box. This is not an I got you moment, all right? You'll never get Zeus. I'm going to be honest with you, Trump supporters. There's never a single thing you'll ever be able to say to me to get me. Because what I've been saying is right. All right? So stop that little game you've all thought makes you sound like, when you sound like Donald Trump, when you get on TikTok with no information and misinformation and lies and start arguing it. And then walking away saying you won. What did you win? Because you got on here and yelled a bunch of lies that no one believes except everyone that's in your cult? Stop it. All right, who do we got first, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, here we go. I must have triggered this one right here. Clickbait. What do you want?
Hey Zeus, check this out. You ready? You're crying on TikTok about Trump selling merch. You literally sell merch on TikTok.
Oh, okay. But what's the issue?
No, you have an issue with Trump doing it, but you do it yourself.
I don't have an issue with Trump. Who told you I
No,
had
yeah,
an
you were just crying. You were just crying about Trump selling water and tennis shoes and all that stuff.
Okay,
You do
I
the same
get.
thing.
Okay, I get that. But did you catch
But you're
why
a
I said?
Democrat. You're
Did
a
you catch?
Democrat, so you have hypocrisy. That's
Okay,
you.
did you catch why I said that, Mr. Clickbait? With all due respect, right?
Of course.
Let me tell you why I said it. I was saying that to help you understand that all Donald Trump is doing is trying to take your money, and he's just coming up with creative ways to get your money. I don't care
Well,
that he's doing.
He's not
I don't.
taking anyone's money.
Well,
If you give somebody something, how are they taking it? How's he taking it? I mean, if I buy your merch, are you going to sell it to me?
Oh, that's different. Yeah, but can I explain how?
It's not different.
Can I explain
It's not
how?
different.
Can I
Go
explain
ahead.
how? All
Yeah,
right.
tell me how it's different.
All right. So I sell. Let's say you say I sell merch, right? But
Yes.
that's one area of business. But he's selling steaks. He's selling water. He's selling NFTs, right? He's selling these golden shoes.
It don't matter how much
Trump
merch.
bucks.
You
He
sell
came up with
shirts,
a Trump
cups,
University, right?
keychains, hats. I
Yeah.
mean, you sell more than just one thing.
Okay, no, but that's one line of business. Like that's clothing, right? He's got all these businesses, right?
Well, it doesn't
And-
matter. If you're not smart enough to have more businesses, then that's on you.
Okay, but here's
Right?
the thing. Here's the thing. You are all buying his stuff, and you're supporting this guy despite the fact that he's not really successful at any of those enterprises. And
Hey, have you sent money to Biden's campaign? Have you sent money to Biden's campaign?
Not that I know of, but can I finish what I'm saying to you, Clickbait? My
Go ahead.
question to you is, when does the grift end? He does it every day. He sends out all these emails to you portraying himself as a victim to get his supporters to give him money. It's an endless grift operation. He has everything, any way he could get you to send him money, he's going to do it.
Let me tell you when it's going to stop. You ready? You ready? I'll tell you when the grift stops. 2028, the grift stops.
Why
'Cause he's gonna-
2028?
Because he's going to be president from 2024 to 2028, and then he'll be out. He won't be able to run again.
Okay.
That's when it'll stop.
Okay, well, Clickbait. You know what? I'll be honest with you.
When will yours stop?
His grift.
I'm
will
going to guess
never
yours
stop.
is going to stop on November 6th. That's when
No.
yours is going to stop.
Okay, well, there's no grift over here. You know, it's just
Oh, yeah,
standard
you
business.
grift every day.
But I'll say
January 6th is January. Nobody cares about January 6th anymore.
Only
you.
Actually, a lot
No
of
one
us
does.
care about January.
No, you don't.
Put a 1 in the chat. You believe in poll results, right?
No. These are Branch Davidians. They don't matter.
Oh, so everyone, can you put a 1 in the chat if you care about January 6th? Hey, Sweet Pea, put a 1 in the chat if you
Do
care
a
about
50-state poll. Do a
No,
50-state poll. Nobody cares. It's not even in the top 10 of people voting.
Clickbait.
Nobody cares about January 6th.
Clickbait. Can you read the numbers of people that put a 1 in the chat for us?
Nobody cares because these people in here are stupid as you.
Oh, Clickbait, you sound triggered.
No, I don't sound triggered. I just know.
Okay.
None of you guys got common sense.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. Clickbait, unfortunately, your time
You're
is
almost
up.
as bad as Harry Sisson, dude. You're almost as bad as Harry Sisson.
Okay, well, your time is up, Clickbait, but you know what? I got to give it to Clickbait. That was one of the rare times that he controlled that MAGA demon and didn't engage in vulgarity and all of that other nastiness that the typical MAGA demon engages in. I'll give it to him for that. But Clickbait, unfortunately, bro, you're super duper wrong, all right? And the MAGA demon has led you astray once again. You're a disgrace to this country and your community and your family. And there's really only one thing left to do. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Clickbait, full of the MAGA demon, straight to hell. Let's give him a round of boos and shame. All right, my comment section. For some, okay, it's back. All right, good, good. I thought I was gonna have to reset, but clickbait. The main point I bring up when I start talking about all the things Donald Trump is doing, because I knew you wouldn't listen to me. I wanted you to get it out. Is that he only cares about you because he looks at you like a way to make some money. All right. If this doesn't work, he's gonna try that. If that doesn't work, he's gonna try that. And it's all stuff you don't need. That's the issue. I don't mind that he's doing it, but let's call it what it is. A grift. Why is he sending you emails every single day asking for money? Especially when he portrays himself to be a successful businessman, billionaire. You got to think, clickbait. You got to think. All right. You know, the good book says a fool and his money will quickly part. All right. And that's for you, clickbait. Seriously. All right. Let's bring up our next panelist. Good morning, April. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Well, thank you. Clickbait, we do care. People that actually care about this country and care about the Constitution and our rule of law, we absolutely care about January the 6th. And we care that a man tried to remain in office even though the majority said, no, you're fired.
Yep.
So just remember that. He was fired for doing a horrible job. And that's what I wanted to come up, and it'll just take a minute. Can I read a poem for everyone that's describing Donald Trump?
Sure.
Please.
Yeah, yeah. You all got time for a little poem this morning, right?
Just a little one, y'all.
Okay, let's do it. You know, we love celebrating the arts over here, April, so you go for it.
In a time of turmoil, his presence did loom, a divisive figure casting shadows of gloom. With rhetoric harsh, he stoked flames of hate, tearing at unity, sealing a bitter fate. In office, his actions bred chaos and strife, ignoring truth, fostering distrust like a knife. The values once cherished frayed at the seams. His leadership poisoned hopes and shattered dreams. With arrogance as armor, he ruled with a fist, ignoring the pleas of those he had kissed. A leader should inspire, uplift, and unite. Yet he chose division, fueled by ego, not light.
Let's go.
In history's annals, his chapter is writ, a cautionary tale of deceit and unfit. Your leadership demands more than mere show. It craves integrity, empathy, and moral glow.
Let's
So
go.
let us learn from his tumultuous past, chose leaders who uphold principles that last. In unity and compassion, our strength will abide to navigate challenges with wisdom and pride. Woo, woo, woo!
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all go ahead and show April some love. That was a good poem right in clickbait's face.
It spoke everything.
Yeah.
It said it all.
Yeah.
It said it all. And I had to pass that along
Thank
because
you, April.
all of us country loving, the United States of America, the people that actually believe in this country and believe in hope and believe in equal rights and everything for everyone,
Yep.
we've got to stop this treacherous fascist dictator wannabe. He's not fit for presidency, and he needs to just sit his old butt down, go play golf, get over it. You know, I'm praying for that house arrest. Please,
Yep.
Rashawn, just a little bit of house arrest.
Yep, just a little
but
ounce, just a little oopsie bit.
Just give me a taste. Give me a taste of somebody being held accountable. It's
Amen.
ridiculous.
Amen.
But clickbait, there are people here that do not idolize other human beings. We do believe in our country and we believe in the Constitution, which is our rule of law. So just sit your butt down, troll.
Yeah, yeah. Why do you think they get upset when we keep bringing up January 6th? What do you think is making them so angry about it? I don't get it. Aren't they proud of it?
Oh no, they're not proud of it because they realize how stupid they looked, and that it will never hold any ground in America. We will fight you, we will stop you, and don't think it's going to happen again. because now we have Biden in presidency.
Yep.
We have Biden, and the National Guard will be there, and he'll protect us. Unlike your Trump that sat for 3 hours while people were getting hurt, attacked, and unalive.
Yep.
So, yeah, he's going to be the president for the people. That's
Yeah.
Biden.
Yeah. You hear that, trash bait? Unfortunately, sir, you're still wrong, and you're on the wrong side of history. Oh my God. Oh
Thank
my
you,
God.
everybody, for the gifts. Appreciate it. But I had to share that poem. But
It was a very good poem, April. Seriously, I appreciate it. All right.
thank you all. Have a great day, y'all.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give April a round of applause. No lies detected. I mean, you see, ladies and gentlemen, it's not that hard to get in the box and tell the truth and shame the devil. I don't understand why 4 years out, MAGA is still on the internet crying like a bunch of babies. Seriously. All right, let's move it along. Oh my gosh. All right, all lefts go. Good morning, my friend. How are you doing, all lefts? Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm all right. You see what we got going on right here, right?
Oh man, it's still hard to believe, honestly. Great job as always exposing the big lie, and
Yeah.
I'm amazed for whoever that guy was. I'm not familiar with him to come
Clickbait.
up here.
His name is clickbait, trash
Clickbait.
bait. Yeah, but he calls himself something vile on this app that he knows he shouldn't call himself.
Yeah. Fantastic, but it's shocking to me how he can ask about or call someone out for grift when you're talking specifically about the big lie. And I just wanted to point out how important that is, because aside from the Trump steaks and the Trump airlines and all the other stuff that this guy did, we know for a fact that Donald Trump raised, if I'm not mistaken, tens of millions, hundreds of $1,000,000 off of the big lie.
Yep.
He was grifting his supporters daily on that one specific thing, as he's out there telling everyone publicly the election was stolen.
Yeah.
He was raising money off of that. So for him to compare that to what you do, I don't see how anyone can square those two things in their head. It makes no sense to me.
It's MAGA logic, which crumbles when you put pressure on it, right? Like that's their logic doesn't make sense, and he knows that. He knows that.
He has to know, but it's the same kind of logic that after this guy is convicted of 34 felonies, that what did they do? They turn around and bragged about how much money they gave him. Man, it makes my head explode.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to take a minute, if you allow me, to add some context, because again, I can't stress enough how important it is what you do to expose the big lie, but also the J6 committee did such a great job interviewing specifically Republicans, right? And giving us detailed information about how we knew this guy was lying. So if you'll allow me just a minute, I just wanted to read a couple of quotes of testimony that we got from the committee. And what they did was they gave us what these people were telling Trump privately versus what he was telling everyone publicly. So if I can give just a quick example. Bill Barr told them that around December 1st, the issue at that time was Detroit, right? And Trump was constantly telling us that they're bringing in ballots all throughout the night and they're dumping ballots and no one can explain it. Here's what Bill Barr told him and what he told the January 6th committee. So this is a quote. Then he raised the big vote dump, as he called it, in Detroit. And, he said people saw boxes coming into the counting station all hours of the morning and so forth.
Yeah.
I said, Mr. President, there are 630 precincts in Detroit. Unlike elsewhere in the state, they centralized the counting process. So they're counted in each precinct, they're moved to counting stations, and the normal process would involve boxes coming in at all different hours. And I told him, did anyone point out to you, did all of the people complaining about it point out to you that you actually did better in Detroit than you did last time? I mean, there's no indication of fraud in Detroit. That's a quote from Bill Barr.
Wow.
The very next day, Donald Trump at a rally, this is a quote, December 2nd. I'll tell you what's wrong, voter fraud. Here's an example. This is Michigan. At 6:31 in the morning, a vote dump of 149,000 votes came in unexpectedly. We were winning by a lot. That batch was received in horror. In Detroit, everybody saw the tremendous conflict. There were more votes, than there were voters. So that's just one example of what everyone was telling Donald Trump privately every single day, there is no fraud.
Wow.
Versus what he's telling them publicly. There are dozens more examples that I'd love to give at some point. Again, great job, man. Always appreciate the work you're
let me
doing.
clarify that. So the dump he was talking about, it sounds like he actually benefited the most from it.
He benefited from it, but it was very clear what he was trying to say was there's all these suspicious ballots coming in everywhere from containers. What they told him over and over again was no, they have a centralized location where they count these. So they're going to bring them in containers from other places. Wow. He tried to turn around and use that as some nefarious, like they were all false or they were fake ballots. They knew exactly what was happening. They were telling him exactly what was happening. And then within a day or two, he would turn around and repeat the lie after being told every single day. It's insane.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, all lefts, for bringing that critical piece of information to the kingdom, because now we all know how to push back against the conspiracy a little further, right?
We all know if you're in alive and anyone wants to tell you that the election was stolen, because they will every single day, don't let them get away with it. We're going to do this every single day until election day. He's going down. That's all there is to it.
All right, all lefts. Well, listen, thank you so much, my good friend. All right, I appreciate all the hard work you've been doing. All right, I really do. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give all lefts a round of applause. No lies detected. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason that we're all here today having these conversations about Donald J. Trump and the way that he's trying to tear this country apart. It's because we all need to get the truth out, all right? And stop letting these Trump supporters run around on this app crying and acting like they are victims when we see what they are doing. Oh, let's bring up the birthday man. G, man, good morning, my good friend. Hey.
Thank you for yesterday.
Yes.
I'll come over here. Back with the J6 situation.
Okay.
Remember what happened to the state capital in Michigan? I think they got a warm up practice over there for not wearing masks and not do the things. They were crybaby. I said, for the guys that act tough over there, they don't want to, listen to, government trying to help other people, because I barely didn't make it from COVID that time.
Right. Wow.
People, but honest, I know this picture's talking about my birthday, but still, I didn't make it. Everybody's immune system is different. We don't know about that years from now, but anyway, what happened in Michigan, they should be embarrassed themselves too, because they look like in the history book, not as serious as J6.
Yeah.
But still, not wearing a mask, not do this, use the slogan like back in the day where the women's rights started, feminism, my body, my choice, all that bull crap.
Yeah. They they tried to hijack that movement and make it their own, right?
Yes,
sir.
Just
to worship Donald Trump. This is some sick stuff they do.
But I'm gonna keep it short. I won't be here that long. I know we got other guests in here. Mm-hmm. Vote blue no matter who. I'm independent, learn other things for this creator, other creators like Ange, True Rican, and everybody I can't even name. Sorry, but I learned it from you. I never too old to know things.
Yeah.
And keep the passion, keep the fight. That's all I had to say. I'm gonna drop. And,
okay.
And thank you for your time. Thank you for yesterday. Thank you for my birthday week, everybody. I'm gonna stay safe, stay strong, stay hydrated.
Yes.
Wash your surroundings, people nut it up, and peace, everybody. Thank you for your time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up to G-Man. Happy birthday, bro. Keep up the good work. Yes, and we tell the truth and we shame the devil over here. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Tiffany Speaks. Good morning. How are you doing? Tiffany Speaks. Are you there? Are you there, Tiffany? I'm having connectivity issues. We're having connectivity issues, all right? Are you there? I think there's some connectivity issues, all right? All right, let's bring it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's bring it along. All right, good morning, Shay. How are you doing? I see you swimming. Hey!
What's up, everybody?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Doing good. Just about to head off to work here in a little bit.
Okay, okay. Get it, get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so Trash Bait trying to connect you with the Trump grifting was the most hysterical wannabe connect to something because they have nothing left attempt. Like it was that was so strange. Yeah, there's a lot of people that sell merch on here. You've never said selling merch is a bad thing. That's not about it's
No.
not about selling merch. But good try.
Yeah.
But here we've never had. I mean, heck, you can go on Biden's website and buy a Biden hat and a Biden yard sign. That's typical merch selling, political merch selling. What you
Correct.
miss, obviously, right? Because you're dumb as a bag of rocks.
Uh-oh.
There is the the attraction to the cult, the Bibles, right? The Patriot
Right.
Bibles, the golden shoes, which he said would get him more of a black vote because black people, right? You like high top tennis shoes, you like basketball shoes. Is that all
Right.
you wear, Zeus? Is that what you like? Is that
That's
it?
what he that's what he
Did
thinks.
that get your vote, Zeus? Because
Absolutely not.
yeah, I didn't think so. It's that stuff that we call out. That it's just this pandering to get a vote because you're so desperate, right?
Yeah.
It's a desperation that reeks all of this, and then it's like the NFT cards where it's like you want these horrible, fake, stupid images of Trump as a war guy, as a pilot, as an astronaut, as a football player. What in the world is all this Americana nationalism wrapped in imaging? Christian nationalism wrapped in imaging and selling it to you, right?
Yeah.
And on top of the fact, we just have to make fun of the fact that Trump steaks, Trump vodka, Trump water, Trump casinos, all of that has gone bankrupt. Trump University. So every little business venture he's ever done and stamped his name on has gone bankrupt
You
and
get
no
that
longer
clickbait?
exists. Yeah, that's the connection you're making to. It's just wrapped up in this cultish fraud, and they're buying it hook, line, and sinker, and just putting Trump tattoos on their bodies and all these. It's just ridiculousness. That's what we're talking. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
It's the
Yep.
game, exactly, Kevin. It's the game, and that's the thing. But I am looking forward to tonight. You know what? The most I really hope they ask about, because this will be the first time he has to be on a debate stage and answer the questions about
What's that?
January 6th.
Oh.
See, he hasn't been on a debate stage since January 6th, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, he wouldn't
Wow.
debate with Chris Christie and Nikki Haley and Vivek and all the other ones that were running against him. He wouldn't debate with them. I wonder why.
He's
Because
running from his record.
He's running from his record, and that's the thing, is this is going to be the first time he has to stand there and answer for things like January 6th and COVID, the pandemic, his mishandling of things, the fake electors plot.
Somebody in the comments, Shay, they said our January 6th outrage is phony.
It's not phony. You obviously live in your little comfortable circle, because it's not phony.
Send a guest request. Come on up here. We'll
Yeah, I'd love to know how you think it's funny. It's not. It's not. That was a horrific day.
Yeah, let's see something real quick. Let's see if they can come up here. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Let's see if they can get this MAGA demon to come up here and give us an explanation for.
Oh yeah, I'd love to know, because it's
Yeah,
not, I know
I
they
sent you an
want it to be
invite.
phony. Yeah, they want it to be phony. They want it to have not ever happened. We get that.
Because they failed. Because it was a failed. Oh, there he is. There's the MAGA demon.
Good, sweetheart.
I'm not your sweetheart. What is your issue?
You're a Trump leech, dude. You need Trump for attention.
Hey! You made a
No,
statement.
honey, we don't vote for him, sugar pop.
You made a statement in the
You're
chat.
the one that votes for him, sugar baby. You honey pop. You're the one that votes for him.
Can you speak? Can you speak
Trump
clearly?
every single day.
Where are you at? Where are you at? I can barely hear you.
I'm here, dude.
Okay. You made a statement in there, the fake outrage about
Yeah,
January 6th. Can you elaborate on that?
the Democrats pulled an entire year of protests, violence, anti-establishment, whatever you want to call it. We do one organic protest that lasts for 2 hours tops, and you guys haven't let it go. Your outrage is phony. It's
Organic protest.
Okay. So I think I got what you're saying. All right,
They're like
speaker.
organic bananas that you can buy
Jesus
at the store.
Christ.
You have a choice between the
So,
organic
sir,
type and the not organic type.
all your protests
sir.
organized. They were all phony. They were promoted by the DNC. January
Sir.
6th was an organic protest.
What? How do you define organic?
Organic
Like,
means that it was genuine
There's no
people's
pesticide sprayed on it.
manufactured outrage that the entire 2020 scope of protests
can
was.
I ask you a serious question though?
Go ahead.
All right, it was organized by Donald Trump.
No, it wasn't organized by Donald Trump. There's
But see, that's kind of why I gotta
there
see.
was numerous people that organized the protest.
Wait. Do you remember Donald Trump posting it on Twitter at the time, saying meet him in Washington D.C. Big protest is going to be wild. What was that about?
Yeah, if they didn't know about it.
There was genuinely people pissed at the way things went down. You cannot say.
Why were you mad? Who told you to be mad?
Much hype bullshit.
Oh, no cursing.
Who told you to be mad though? Who convinced you it was stolen?
So, speaker, you know what I'm gonna do? All right, I need you to get back in the chat. All right, because I got to move on to the next guest. Shay, could you explain to speaker real quickly how they ended up in D.C.?
Yeah, they ended up in DC because this all started well before January 6th. This absolutely started before November. What was it? November 8th was the
correct.
Remember, right?
Right.
So if you remember the debate stage in September, he told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. He started saying that if I lose, it's rigged in February of 2020.
Speaker, listen.
So there was an he knew he was going to lose. He did. He knew the writings on the wall. So he was told that the numbers aren't looking good. Steve Bannon's on hot mic talking about it. That's why they did the Hunter. But
yeah, this is the organic part. This is the organic part, sir. And ultimately what Shay is saying is Donald Trump planned and organized the attack on the United States Capitol on January 6th in an organic fashion. All right.
Yeah, in a very organic fashion.
Thank you, Shay.
Well, listen, the bear spray would have been the pesticides that were sprayed. I don't know what he's talking about. But it was planned, and the fact that y'all won't look into it and accept that and understand that is why you're still being fooled to this day. You're still being outraged. But anyway, I'll let you go, my friend. Everybody have a good day in the kingdom.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Shay a round of applause. No lies detected. No lies detected. Jesus Christ, my clock is acting up. I'm so sorry. All right, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we still have legions and legions of MAGA-possessed individuals out here who are saying that we, the Democrats, are expressing fake outrage for what happened on January 6th, even though every single day I bring to you a soldier of his that's been brought to justice. This isn't fake outrage. This is something that is still impacting this country to this day. You haven't seen any BLM riots around here. That was a movement. It was a peaceful movement. All right. And there were maybe a few bad people involved trying to overtake it. But what happened on January 6th has never happened ever. Okay. You had a president, a sitting president of the United States of America, recruiting his supporters to become his soldiers in his army to overthrow the United States government based on a lie. A big, nasty lie. Don't ever compare anything else to that, you MAGA demon. Seriously. Bring up my next panelist, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I can't believe we've had to have these conversations. Good morning, Brother Swervin. How are you doing? Swervin, are you there? Swervin, are you there? Good morning, Brother Swerve. How are you doing, my good friend? Swervin, are you there, Swerve? Lord have mercy, Swervin. I guess we're having connectivity issues. Red Crown, come on up here. Red Crown.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good
I
morning.
hear an echo.
How you doing?
I'm all right.
Let me put my camera on so you can see my
Is there a Bluetooth going on or something?
Nope.
I hear an echo.
Uh-oh.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus
It might be you.
Might be me. Hold on.
Let's see. I don't know what it is. But the echo is not, it's making it hard. Good morning, Red Crown. Let's see. Hopefully we get it fixed out and maybe minimize and come back. They say close out and come back.
Is that better?
I still hear the echo. How about this? I'll mute my mic and you just talk.
Okay. All right. Trump is have you ever had a boil? This is going to be gross.
Yes.
But Trump is the white head on a boil. Okay. And you know what happens when you pierce that white head? You get all that gunky stuff that's underneath it. And that is the Heritage Foundation. That is the Christian Nationals. That is the evangelical right. And Trump is just a figurehead. You know, he doesn't have an original thought in his head. And he is being pushed by that pulse down there. And so even when he's gone, we still have to deal with these idiots. And, you know, and we have plenty of them in Congress, and they need to be voted out. And I am so looking forward to the debate tonight. I got my popcorn and I've got my cooler of beer. And, you know, Trump is going to get, Biden's going to mop the floor with him. And, you know, it may be, just maybe, these MAGAs can actually see, you know, Trump's word salads that he puts out. And, you know, and just shake your head because, you know, he makes no sense at all. And I'm a veteran, and these people say all veterans are voting for Trump. No, they're not. You know, somebody that calls veterans losers, you know, excuse me, Mr. Draft Dodger, I hope he gets house arrest, okay? And they make him, he can't play golf at all unless it's mini golf. You know, that would be something that would really hurt that POS. So anyway, well, thank you, Zeus. I appreciate you letting me come up. And we love you. Peace.
All right. Thank you, Red Crown. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a round of applause. You're welcome. All right. See what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? This is a show of force. We are telling the truth and shaming the devil. Good morning, cold as the days. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
I am all right. You know, we're pushing through all of this technical difficulties and all right, but I'm so glad to be able to check in with you. What do you got for us?
It just chaps my, my rear end when I heard trick bait. It's just so idiotic how they want to how he tried to compare selling merch because you are an influencer on TikTok and other social media sites as well. How you try to compare selling merch to grifting and the endless grift, because the grifting that Donald Trump does is the NFTs, the shoes, the Bible, all the scamming that he's done. It's like you cannot put those two things in the same category, and to try to do it is quite idiotic. And he sounded just really stupid anyway. And for him to try to basically change his handle to JC is asinine, ass a 10, ass 11, ass a 12.
That's funny.
You know, it's really crazy. I did actually send you a picture of the mac and cheese. I sent that to you.
Really?
I said, yeah, I did. I sent a couple of pictures.
Okay. Okay,
So
I need
that
to
you
check it
got a
out.
chance to see it.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
it
check
was.
it out.
It was really good. The holiday was really nice. It was just,
Wow.
getting back to the norm afterwards and
Good,
stuff like
good,
that.
good, good,
But
good, good.
I am so looking forward to this debate. I am like Red. I have my snacks ready. I'm probably going to shake up me a couple of martinis,
Oh wow.
just to just sit back and enjoy. Because honestly, I really do. I hope that Dark Brandon shows up and shows out.
Yeah, yeah,
I need a
yeah.
repeat of the State of the Union address. But
Oh.
I honestly think I think even if Joe was half kiltered and even half up on his game, he could still walk the floor with Donald Trump
Yeah.
because that is a bona fide idiot. He's a bona fide idiota. It's
Yeah.
really sad, and it's really sad how people are still trying to follow him. Now, this clown stood up and talked about the peaceful. We for 2 hours. No, it was over 3 hours that he sat there and did nothing, watching his minions actually storm the Capitol
Yeah.
and disrupt, smear feces everywhere, and cause a lot of harm to the law enforcement officials that were there, even the ones that came in and had to kind of relieve them, from what was going on. I
Yeah.
actually got a chance to watch the J6 that I think Netflix did, and it had me in tears because it was just so sad. But I would like to say this. I'm the type of person where, I believe in confrontation, and I feel like I want them when he gets beat again in November. I want them to try that same thing. I want them to try it. I dare them to try it. Yeah, I dare them to try it. I think they're
Wow.
cowards anyway. I think
Yeah.
they're cowards anyway.
Lady
So
Giselle, thank you for the subscription. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we got what they need if they try it again, right?
yeah,
Biden, we're
yeah.
all on to it. Like I've always said this. When he got elected in 2016, I honestly thought his supporters, they would see him for who he was and say, he's no good. I honestly thought that. Because his entire presidency, I kept saying, look at him, look at him. But after January 6th, I said, oh my God, they'll never give up with this guy.
No, and then he says what the branch Davidians. It's like, I'm sorry, but we don't run around out here wearing Biden Harris hats and have our cars with stickers on the side of them and have flags flying off the cars and have all that crap in our yards and all that stuff. We
Right.
don't do that stuff. We support where it needs to be, and that's at the polls when we
Yep.
cast our ballot.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
it was just insane. Just to sit up and honestly, just like I try to be in every day to listen to you.
Yeah,
I
thank
don't
you.
get a chance to get into Union Games live as much in the evenings because it seems like I'm kind of moving around a lot and
It's
doing
hard, right? Yeah,
yeah.
you're shaking and moving.
So, but it's just like hearing these people every single day. It's like you would think that the light bulb would eventually come on.
Yeah.
But it does not. I think the watts are. The battery's dead. The elevators are certainly not going to the top floor.
Bingo.
But anyway, I just wanted to get in the live today and just voice my opinion on Trick Bait. He is sad. He is really so sad.
I agree.
Delusional at his best. They say denial, Denial. Don't even know I am lying. He is lying to himself and all the people that actually listen to him and the other people like him. They are sad.
Bingo.
But thank you for bringing me up today, and
You're welcome.
hello to everybody in the kingdom, and you all have a blessed and wonderful day.
All right, all right, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give the beautiful Cold as the Days a round of applause. No lies detected. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is a show of force. We don't gotta make up stuff to get people to come in here and tell the truth. These are people who love this country for real. The people that don't love this country, they sit on this app every single day, moaning and groaning, complaining. All right. And if they don't get out of this mindset, if they don't get out of this cult, I promise you, every single one of you Trump supporters will end up in hell. Seriously, your souls are on the line and you don't even realize. What does it say they did after 1-6? Don't know why they reverted it back. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. All right. Let's move it along. All right. All righty then. Who do we have next, ladies and gentlemen? Who do we got next? All right. Who is this? Who is this? Mrs.
This is
Jack.
Miss. Hi, Zeus.
Hey, how are you?
I am wonderful, and
All right.
yourself?
I'm doing all right. Just another day in the kingdom, tending to the affairs as usual.
You looking good as usual.
Oh, crap. You know how nutty he gets when you start saying that, right? He
He's
gets
just
all
gonna
this.
have to like live in forever a world of jealousy.
And that's where he
You know,
belongs. That's his,
once he can
that's
admit it to himself, he'll be all right.
you hear that? If nutty of you here, honestly, live in that world and dwell there, my brother. Seriously. Because he really does need to chill. I don't know what's gotten into him lately.
He just wants to give you I think he wants to give you your flowers, but not leave his own flowers out.
Oh, okay. Is that what they call that? Okay, fair enough,
That's what
fair
it is.
enough. All right, well,
Okay,
what do you got for us this
I'm gonna
morning?
give you some keywords today.
Give it to
Okay,
us.
the keywords are almost, now,
Mm-hmm.
and 50.
Mm.
Right. I want to defend you real quick first, though.
Okay.
What the other guy was saying about your merch.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you sell merch, you don't trick people into multiple donations
No.
in the form where Trump had them doing donations, and if you didn't click no, people kept getting these repeated transactions taken
Oh.
out of their accounts because they hid it somewhere in the
Oh.
fine, the
Yeah.
fine writing at the end.
Yeah.
So that's the difference in
Yeah.
selling merch and grifting. If he
Yeah.
didn't know, now he knows.
Yeah. Tell.
Okay.
Yep. Please preach on it.
So my first keyword is almost. So when Donald Trump tells you things, he gives you a little piece of the truth, but then he hides it. So for almost, he said we were winning with almost nothing left. He knows that the mail-in ballots were counted later. So that's why he said we had almost nothing left. And for the people that do not understand how mail-in ballots are counted, people either count them at the end of the night, and some states count them the next day. You can Google that, research it yourself.
Okay? Right.
So our next keyword, well, we're going to stay on almost. Byron Donald said almost all scholars and lawyers think the trial was corrupt.
Oh
He said
my.
almost because he knows that most of them did not, but they're hiding the words again. You see how they play these words?
Yeah. Like the
I left
devil.
one. Get like the devil. Just like when Donald Trump said, you can go home now. He said now because all the foolishness had already happened. He was happy with what they did to the Capitol. So he was like, go home now to my demonstrators, not protesters. He didn't call them protesters. He said the demonstrators that he loved, right?
Yeah. We love you. You're
We
very
love you.
special.
Go
Yeah.
home. Right. My last keyword is 50. Biden is going to win the debate because Donald Trump only knows 50 words, and most of them are superlatives. He is going to have a meltdown because his mic will be muted. He has zero impulse control.
Yeah.
And he is not going to know what to do with himself to be quiet that long.
Bingo. Yeah. You are
That's all I gotta say.
All right, listen, you are spot on, and I completely agree. Donald Trump doesn't have an expansive vocabulary, all right?
None.
And all the words, like you said, they're very surface level superlatives that will actually backfire when he tries to use them because, like I've always said, every MAGA accusation is truly a MAGA confession, right?
Exactly.
Joe Biden, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're listening to this special broadcast, Joe Biden, President Biden, just know when he starts trying to complain, he's talking about himself, and just flip it on him. It'll be easy to do, and then he can't even talk over you as well. When they mute his mic, you win. I
Yes,
get
and
it.
all they got to do is ask him about a policy. Because
Bingo.
that's another difference they don't realize. Joe Biden has policies. If you listen to a Trump rally, it's insults. It is talking about Biden. It is never, hey, this is my policy, this is my plan, and let y'all cheer that. They just
Yeah.
cheer him out there talking about people.
Yeah.
So that's all he has to do. You have a great day, Zeus. I have a live at noon for anybody that wants to talk through grief. I have a show called Talk It Out.
Okay.
I've helped people talk through grief yesterday. We'll go again at noon. So come on up and let me help you talk through your grief. And thank you, Zeus,
You're
for letting
welcome.
me come up.
All right. Hey, would you be willing to help these Trump supporters talk through their grief, because they've been losing for quite a while. Like my friend Snuggles, I'm going to recommend Snuggles take his soldiers there and really do the work. All right, because
Well,
they've been losing. So I don't know if you have a special, maybe there's a fee you could charge them.
I have a
We can.
rule.
Okay.
I have a rule with
Uh
no
huh.
politics and no religion.
Okay,
So
but
that
okay.
might knock half of them out. I don't think they'll be able to like remove that from themselves. Like I can talk
Okay.
to anybody as long as they don't come up and tell me that they're like political. I can help them.
Okay.
But some people I've noticed once they live in that world of denial, it's hard to have conversations with them. So
Yeah.
if you're free to come in and talk about your grief without
All
blaming
right.
anything else, then yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Well, Mrs. Jack, thank you so much. All right. I
Thank you
appreciate
guys.
all you do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Mrs. Jack a round of applause.
Have a good day, Zeus.
All right, you too. And I'll just say it. All right, I'm going to say it. Because I can say things sometimes in a way that I think makes it make sense. MAGA, Mrs. Jack is offering you help to get over the loss, especially probably after tonight. It's going to pop up in your mind that perhaps Donald Trump isn't fit to be president, right? And you're gonna put that in line with all the other things that you can see if you look back. Donald Trump hasn't been winning so well, right? And this is what I'm going to say. There's a great separation. I got a crystal ball and I'm reading the future for you Trump supporters. There's going to be a great separation. This November, Donald Trump won't get reelected, and all of his court cases, they're going to result in him possibly going to prison for a while, and you won't be able to get any updates on his Truth Social platform. This is going to be a lot of loss. Get into Mrs. Jack's live and get ready to prepare so that you can learn how to grieve, MAGA. All right? All right? And make sure you pay, all right? Because it's, these lives that we do, you ought to pay, MAGA, because that's really the only way you'll learn. If you're not paying, to you, it's a joke. So make sure you don't send Donald Trump any more money, and get the money out that you got and send it to Miss Jack. She'll help you get through your grief, all right? Because I promise you, once you get done and you accept, you'll become better Americans. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Oh my God! Oh my God! Miss Jess, good morning. How are you doing? Oh my God!
Hello, how are
Hello.
you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Just tending to the affairs as usual.
So I have a little something to show you. Hold on.
Okay, let's go.
Look at this. So Lauren Boebert can't afford an attorney for her son. But you see what's on her feet?
Oh, the circus shoes, the golden
Yeah.
shoes.
She can afford the gold sneakers, but can't help her son with his attorney fees. Wow. Priorities messed up. The party of family values.
Tell him, Jess. Tell him, Jess.
She can't even show up to him or to his court and support him. Wow. But she can't.
Are you
And
okay? Are you there?
support Donald Trump.
Yeah.
My power just went out. Oh goodness. Yeah, my power just went out.
Lord have mercy.
I'm in wine country, a tourist area, so someone probably hit a pole around here or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it'll be all right. I saw Val tag me. Happy debate day and happy birthday.
Oh, it's Val's birthday?
Yeah, it's Val's birthday. Happy birthday.
Val, you know what we got to do. Wow.
And
back to back.
How old are you, Val?
Val, are you still here? We got to bring Val up. Oh my goodness. Okay, he's still here. I'll bring him up next, but I think we're going to have to sing and celebrate happy birthday before this show ends. Oh my God.
Right, so this is different. This is about Ronnie Jackson. Ronnie Jackson was the old White House aide, right? The physician. And he's AKA the Candy Man, right?
Right.
This here is a report of his employees, the subordinates. It's people that have had negative interactions with him and that he created a hostile work environment. He was constantly yelling at his employees,
Wow.
constantly making them be fearful of their jobs being in trouble, all of this stuff.
Wow.
And then also in
How does that work? Okay, never mind. I don't
here's
know what
it.
I'm doing. Keep going. Keep
This
going.
was in the Philippines right here. He knocked on someone's door, an employee's door, super late in the middle of the night, and literally, this is from the report.
Yeah.
Go look it up. This is from the actual report. From the investigation into Ronnie Jackson. Go ahead and look it up. But basically, it was that he was drunk, he was under the influence of alcohol, he was harassing a woman late at night, and then also wrecked a government vehicle. And this is the man that wants to call for Biden to have a drug test, right?
Yeah.
Him and all the other MAGA supporters were trying to have Biden. Oh yeah, and he was demoted. Thank you, Nathan's mom. That's another thing. He was demoted, and he keeps claiming the title. He keeps. Yes, he keeps touting it that he's still the rear admiral, something like that.
Wow.
And, yep, he's a big fat phony. He's a big fat liar, just like all the other MAGA demons.
Every MAGA accusation, Jess, is truly a MAGA confession. Isn't that something?
Yes, sir. But yeah, so this man was AKA Candyman, wanted to give out drugs like it was candy at the White House.
Lord
It
have
says
mercy.
in that report that he was also abusing Ambien. But yeah, that's all I wanted to get out. I heard my bell.
All righty then. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, let's give the beautiful Jess a round of applause. No lies detected. Let's bring up the birthday boy and get up out of here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, oh my goodness. All right, let's bring up Val. All right, who do we have next? Val, good morning. How are you doing, my friend?
Before we get into the whole birthday thing, I had to give you the continuing saga of Val's goalpost. Okay. Okay. My high school team's getting really hurt by these Russian bears and this roll of toilet paper that keeps rolling down my street. Now it seems like they've added a plastic fish that they're carrying around, has a leader on it. Wow.
Well, how are you holding up with all of that going on? Have you called the police or something? I mean, you can't be out there dealing with all.
I mean, they disappear as fast as they come. You know what I'm saying? They come in, they tell a story, and then they're gone, right?
Yeah.
So this is how it works. But guys, my high school football team's really suffering right now. Can you please bring my goalpost back? Okay. Bring it back. I don't need any more continuing saga. And it's my birthday. I really don't want this on my birthday.
Wow. Yes. I mean, listen, they know who they are. Bring the goalposts back and quit moving it, all right? And just accept defeat. Lady Vanessa, thank you for the subscription. So, did you have any words you wanted to get out before we celebrate your birthday and wrap things up over here on this broadcast? I know there's a lot going on. We talked a lot about J6. There's the debate tonight. Any thoughts?
Any thoughts on the debate? Jan 6, I mean, it's not fake outrage, it's misplaced outrage, right? You're mad at the wrong person, people. I'm just saying. Find your orange leader, start yelling at him, quit giving him money, quit giving him millionaire money to pay off his bills, guys. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
No, as far as the debate tonight, I think we all know what's going to happen. Somewhere along the line, I'm hoping to see him just walk off the stage because he can't talk over everybody. It's going to be a wonderful thing. It's going to be fun to watch.
Wow. Wait, we have somebody that said they took out a $10,000 loan to give it to Trump. You come on up here. What did you want to tell me and Val? Because I don't get why that's important to us. What's up?
Yeah, you were just making out like a Trump presidency like worse than the Holocaust. Like, what do you think is worse, the Holocaust or Trump winning the election?
One and the same.
Yeah. Okay, that was a ridiculous question, right? Let's give that MAGA demon what he deserves. A round of boos and shame. I think you're worse. I think you are worse.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
I think you're worse, and you're an embarrassment to your family, your friends, and your community, to this country. You're the worst of the worst and the scum of the earth. That's what I think, you MAGA demon. Sorry, Val. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah. All right. Any last words?
No last words.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today is Val's birthday, and you know what we do in the kingdom, right? We celebrate each other's birthday because, number one, that's the right thing to do. But then, number two, it's an opportunity to give back to those who have been helping make this all possible. So if you can, you know exactly what to do. Let's sing happy birthday and show some love.
I heard it was somebody's birthday.
Hey.
I heard it was somebody's birthday. Yeah. PJ Panda birthday song.
Turn up.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Today is your birthday. We gon' say it loud. Today is your birthday. I know it's so proud.
Hey.
Today is your birthday.
Let's go, Val. Bring the goalpost back. You Russian bears. Snuggle. You liar. You're not winning, bro. You're losing. All right. Hey, look at that. We get the camera on. Not that. Show some love. Let's go. We love you, Val. Look at that. Look at all this love in here. Ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday. Straight bag, thanks to you. Happy birthday. Wow. That's the Trump. No, that's the Zeus train. Let's go. Dark Southern Lib, Rick C, you are all amazing. Miss Boss Diva, Swerve and Shay, you are all amazing. Val, look at all this love here. Yeah, let's go.
Absolutely amazing. I love every one of you on the show.
Oh, we love you too. You work hard and you don't get enough. We don't always tell you it, but listen, everywhere the truth is, you are there, brother. Keep up the great work. Y'all better. Thank you, everyone. Isn't this a great live? Isn't this a great live? What a great show, everyone. We once again left the fight. We burned it down today, right? What a great show. We partied, we laughed, we cried together. Wow. Hey. All right. What are you doing today, Val, to celebrate, if you don't mind?
I'm going to do a few lives. I'm going to watch the debate tonight. I'm going to eat some dinner with my significant other.
Okay.
And just have a nice, relaxed day. That's what I'm going to do.
That's what I like to hear, my good friend. I really do appreciate it.
I can't thank everybody down there enough. I mean, every one of y'all means so much to me and what we do on a daily basis. It's a wonderful feeling, guys. Thank you so much.
Listen, this is one of the greatest communities I've ever dealt with, all right? And you make it possible, Val. So thank you once again to you and the missus or your partner, and continue to bring the truth, all right, my good friend?
Not a problem. Thank you, buddy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Val another round of applause. No lies detected and a birthday. All right, well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You know exactly what time it is. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get to any of the rest of you. Doesn't mean that I love you any less. It just means Zeus has other affairs to tend to in the kingdom, all right? But before I go, you all deserve a round of applause for hanging in there. You all do. To the subscribers, to the gifters, to the moderators, and the panelists, thank you once again for helping to keep this show exciting, educational, and entertaining. It's really one of a life. It's really impressive. But you know what we got to do? We got to give one last round of booze and shame for all the Zeus haters out there. They're not just my haters, they are your haters too. These folks, day in and day out, religiously get on TikTok and spew misinformation and disinformation on behalf of Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin. They promote evil, misogyny, bigotry, xenophobia, all kinds of crime and criminality on behalf of Donald Trump and the cult. These folks are the worst of the worst. They are the scum of the earth. And Joe Biden is going to mop the floor with them like you've never seen them be mopped tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Join me in giving them our final round of booze and shame. MAGA demon. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do.
Truth always, most handsome in the kingdom.
And I really am the most handsome. All right? Yes, Tiffany, you're back. Okay, I saw you. I'm so sorry I didn't get to bring you up.
This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus. This is how I sound when I'm talking like
Mom,
Zeus.
thank you so much. April, thank you so much. Cole as the day, thank you so much. And keep up the great work. All right, and I seriously mean that. Ellen, thank you. Lena Smith, all right, you too. Watch the debate tonight. Doc, all right, Doc, thank you too. Okay, you got a phone call, all right. You're done, MAGA. It's over. Yeah, it's over, MAGA. It really is. Leave it up to you, Zena Smith. Let's go. Jessica, keep up the great work too. Morning Star, shout out. Daisy, let's go. Hey, Slick and Slick, let's go. Rick C, thank you.
Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. Hey, I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth.
Player hating on the God,
boy, you're such a douche.
I tried to be patient, but you had to like my views.
I'm catching all these snakes like a mongoose. These ladies love me, yeah, I'm the one that they choose. You know I'm so handsome.
That's why they call me Zeus. That's why they call me Zeus. And that's why they call you what they call you, right? All right, Rick, see you too. And what do they call you? We don't know. Big E Classified, I see you. All right, Tinkerbell. Hey, you're a rock star. Lift your hands. Keep up the great work, man. Seriously. Reggie, Tiffany speaking. I've been waiting for this moment now. I gotta choose. If you play around with love, then you guaranteed to lose. I didn't make the game a rule. Lady Rima, thank you so much. We hit the goal, ladies and gentlemen. Queen, clean, keep it clean. Queen, clean, Daisy, I see ya.
Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. I know the ladies love me cause I'm sweet like a tooth. Player hating on the God, boy, you're such a douche.
I tried to be patient, but you had to like my views. Catching all these snakes like a mongoose.
These ladies love me,
Yeah, I'm the one that they choose. You know I'm so handsome. That's why they call me Zeus.
This is how I move when I'm walking like Zeus.
Oh my God. Bonnie Willis, Yvette, I agree. All right. You too, Tiffany. I love you too. Slickers, Rick, Mount Negro. Yes, you're right. Yeah, he is guilty. Thunder in the sky lights you up like Zeus. I make my own rules. All right. You know exactly.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
And that'll get you a RICO case. That'll get you a RICO case. All right. Now let's hit him with the Jack Smith remix. Ladies and gentlemen, Reggie! Where you at, brother?
He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith.
He's deranged.
Donald Trump is indicted and they take one charge and they turn it into 36 charges. And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump hater.
Woo-wee. All right, let's get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. But you want to know, before we get out of here, what do I want to say? All right, let's do it.
They started just recently.
Right here,
with
go.
this crap. They started just recently. They could have brought this lawsuit, Brenna, 3 years ago, right after I left.
Right.
It's been 3 years. But they didn't do that.
Why didn't they?
And now they're saying, we have to go immediately before the Supreme Court. This thing would have all been over with 2 years ago. But they waited and waited and waited, and then they saw I was running, and they waited, and then they saw I was hot, and they filed lawsuits. These are very dishonest people. That's called election interference. These are very, and now they're fighting like hell because they want to try and get a guilty plea from the Supreme Court of the United States, which I can't imagine because you have presidential immunity.
Right.
But strange things happen. But they want to get that because that's the only way they're going to win the election. It's a very sick thing. But think of it. They waited and waited and waited for years. In fact, nobody thought, everyone was saying they're never going to bring any charges. Most people said they're not going to bring because they don't have anything. And then all of a sudden we started getting hit with these lawsuits. And you know what? Now they're saying, let's run.
What the heck was that? What the heck was that? He needs to be tested, if you ask me. All right, let's drop the bomb, ladies and gentlemen. You know exactly what it is.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That's right. You ain't black. You ain't nothing but a modern-day slave. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Stay safe. Don't do nothing I